We're looking now at the south facade of the house. On the left-hand side you can see the front entrance where we were just speaking. Notice particularly the very steep roof line and the very tall chimneys. This is done by the architects intentionally to continue the effect looking up from the very steep hillside leading up from the lake, as if visually it just continues in a very high steep angle. Very clever architectural design. You can see a bit here the H pattern of the design of the house, where these two projecting rooms come out. The main living room in the center of the house was recessed a bit, but it gives you a sense of the original layout in the H pattern. At the far end, on the right-hand side, is the famous Belvedere, for which Blairsden is famous, an outdoor viewing platform, basically. Belvedere meaning beautiful view, which had a fireplace in it, and we'll get to that in a few moments, with gorgeous views looking down across Ravine Lake. This terrace was the scene of two of the Blair daughters' weddings, one in 1913, one a few more years later. Underneath the terrace, as we've now panned down to the right here, there was what they called the orangery. There were a number of large arched openings, originally filled with beautiful glass doors, French doors, and every winter these beautiful tubbed, clipped bay trees that lined the staircase leading down to the lake would be hauled up and placed inside the orangery, where they could overwinter with the protection from the wind and getting the direct southern sunlight. The steps leading down at the far end there match a set in front of us. This is called a rampe douce. There's a similar rampe douce at the Biltmore estate in Asheville, North Carolina. The steps led down to a lower platform, a lower terrace, and from there steps continued down the hill through a parallel set of staircases that went down to the middle drive. Between the two matched staircases was what they call a water rill, R-I-L-L, which is basically a small little gurgling stream that ran between large plantings of flowers and shrubbery, so that the person walking up and down the steps would not only get a visual treat of seeing the flowers and the plantings, but an auditory treat, hearing the water rustling underneath. The walks were lined by privet hedges, some of which remain, and originally were lined on the outer side by matching rows of native red cedar trees. Halfway down the hill, and we'll get a better view in a few moments when we walk to the middle of the terrace, the middle driveway crosses. Below that, there were four sections of large mosaic mosaic stone ramps with individually set white and blue stones set in a beautiful mosaic pattern, leading further down the hill toward the lake.